Want to create a cinematic Ronaldo poster like a pro, even if you're a beginner? In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to do it step by step. Stick around by the end of this video. You'll know exactly how to make one from scratch in Photoshop. Hey everyone, welcome back to Swastika Creations Lab, and today we're diving into a step-by-step Photoshop tutorial where we'll turn a regular Ronaldo photo into an epic football poster-worthy masterpiece using Photoshop, from basic cutout to cinematic color grading. Whether you're a beginner just learning Photoshop or a student looking to level up your design skills, this tutorial breaks it all down clearly. Stay till the end because I'll share my secret technique to make your poster pop, with dynamic lighting effects that most people overlook. Now, start by dragging in your high-quality image of Ronaldo. Now go to the Filter menu and select Camera Raw Filter. Here's where the magic starts. Adjust the contrasts, clarity, and texture to enhance the image and overall effects to make the image pop. Using this method, we just boost contrast and add a bit of clarity to bring out details. Let's remove the background. Grab the Object Selection tool, then click on the subject and, holding the Shift key, click on the football. After that, press Ctrl+J to make it duplicate. Great. Now you've isolated Ronaldo and football perfectly. Now let's build the background. Import the football field image and place it below the subject layer. Position it properly behind the player, something like this. Next, transform the size and adjust the perspective to match the scene. Now, add a layer mask to the background. Select the gradient tool, set the foreground color to black, and choose a black to transparent gradient. Apply the gradient along the edges to create a smooth blend. This helps the background merge naturally with the composition. Now, import the Anfield Stadium image. Next, click on Remove Background. After a few seconds, the background will be automatically removed. If some areas are still left, don't worry. Select the Rectangle Selection tool, drag over the unwanted part, and press Ctrl+X to remove it. Now drag and drop this image into your main project. Resize it using Transform, and place this layer below the main subject. Adjust its size and position like this. Finally, fine-tune the composition, adjust the position of the field and both images, including Ronaldo and the stadium, until everything looks balanced and natural. Now, let's refine the composition step by step. First, select the mask and choose the brush tool. Change the foreground color to black and reduce the brush size. Then, hold the Shift key and click once here, and then click again here. This will create a straight line and help us cleanly erase the blurry area from the field. Continue this process from one side to the other, carefully following my steps. As you can see, the field is now blending perfectly with the stadium background, making the scene look much more realistic. It's coming together really nicely. Next, I'll slightly reduce the size of the stadium image to better fit the composition. I'll also remove this unwanted white solid layer to keep everything clean. Now, let's move on to color adjustments. Go to the Adjustment Layer panel and select Brightness, Contrast. Create a clipping mask so the effect applies only to the stadium layer. Then, reduce both the brightness and contrast values slightly to match the scene. After that, select the stadium image layer again and add another adjustment layer. This time, choose Curves. Don't forget to create a clipping mask here as well. Now, we'll use the curves to add more depth and darkness to the stadium. Adjust the curve gently, just like this, to achieve a more cinematic and realistic look. Follow along carefully, and you'll get the same professional result. Now, let's move into refining the lighting and shadows to make the scene feel more realistic. First, select the Curves mask. Increase the brush size, then reduce the brush opacity and flow. You can also slightly soften the brush shape. Now, gently paint over the field area to remove some of the darkness. This helps balance the lighting and makes everything look more natural. As you can see, it already looks much better. Next, I'll increase the size of the Ronaldo image to better fit the composition. Now, to enhance realism, let's create shadows beneath Ronaldo. I'll create a new layer below his layer. Using the brush tool, Reduce the brush size and adjust the shape to a more perspective-style brush. Then, start applying the shadow just under his feet, like this. Follow my brush technique carefully to achieve a soft, natural shadow. I'll repeat the same process to create the shadow for the football as well. This adds depth and makes the objects feel grounded. Looking great so far! Now for a more advanced shadow effect, I'll duplicate the Ronaldo layer and place it below the original. Then, I'll transform it vertically and position it under his feet. Next, go to the Edit menu and choose Puppet Warp. Add 2 or 3 anchor points and slightly stretch the foot area so it aligns perfectly with the original feet. This helps create a more accurate and realistic shadow shape. Once done, press Enter to apply. After that, use Transform again to adjust the perspective and position it according to the direction of the light. In this case, I'll place it slightly behind and below, which makes the lighting feel more natural. Now, hold the Control key and click on the layer thumbnail to create a selection. Change the foreground color to black and press Ctrl plus Backspace to fill the selection with black. This is a very important trick for creating strong shadow bases. Finally, go to the Filter menu, choose Blur, and then select Gaussian Blur. Adjust the blur amount and reduce the opacity slightly to achieve a soft, realistic shadow effect. First, I'll add a cloudy sky image. I'll place this layer at the very bottom, beneath all the other layers. Then, I'll transform and resize it, positioning it carefully to fit the composition. As you can see, the background already looks much more natural and atmospheric. Let's enhance the background to make the scene feel more immersive and realistic. Next, I'll go to the Adjustment Layer panel and select Hue, Saturation. I'll create a clipping mask so it only affects the stadium, and then slightly reduce the saturation and lightness values to blend it better with the scene. Now, I'll create a new layer and press B to select the brush tool. I'll double-click on the foreground color and choose a soft gray tone. Then, I'll increase the brush size and gently paint above the stadium, like this. After that, I'll change the blending mode of this layer to Multiply. Next, I'll select this layer and use the Rectangle Selection tool to create a selection area. Then, I'll go to Filter Blur, Radial Blur. Adjust the settings as shown to achieve this soft light and depth effect. Now, I'll refine the effect using the mask. I'll select the mask, change the foreground color to white, and gently remove the radial blur from unwanted areas. Follow these steps carefully to keep the effect controlled and natural. Then, I'll select the gray brush layer again, choose the eraser tool, and clean up any extra gray areas that don't look right. This helps keep the composition neat and realistic. Finally, let's add some depth to the stadium. I'll select the stadium layer, go to Blending Options, and enable Inner Shadow. I'll adjust the color, angle, and other settings to match the lighting of the scene. Follow my adjustments closely to achieve the same effect. As you can see, the corners of the stadium now have subtle shadowing, which adds depth and helps it blend perfectly with the background lighting. Once everything looks good, click OK, and just like that, the scene feels more cinematic and realistic. Now, let's add some final refinements to enhance the overall look. First, go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and set the value to around 1 pixel. This adds a subtle softness to the image. Next, go to the Adjustment Layer panel and select Color Balance. Create a clipping mask so it only affects the selected layer, and then adjust the color values carefully, just like this. Follow my settings to achieve the same tone. Learning something new? Subscribe. Let's go. Now, I'll add another image of Ronaldo. Using the Object Selection tool, I'll switch to the lasso style and draw a path around the subject. Once selected, press Ctrl+J to duplicate it. Then, drag this new layer into our main project. I'll slightly transform and resize it, placing it here to fit the composition, to match the depth. Go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, again, and set the value to around 0.8 pixels. Click OK. Next, using the lasso tool, create a selection over the upper jersey area of Ronaldo. Press Ctrl+J to duplicate this part. Then, temporarily hide this layer. Now, go to the Adjustment Layer panel and select Color Lookup. Change the 3D LUT file to Moonlight to create a dark cinematic night effect. Reduce the opacity slightly to keep it balanced. After that, right-click on the layer and open Blending Options. Adjust the underlying layer sliders. Hold the Alt key to split the slider and fine-tune it. This helps bring back highlights and creates a more natural blend. It looks really nice now. Next, create a new layer above it and make it a clipping mask by holding the Alt key. Choose a dark gray color as the foreground, and gently paint over the area to enhance the shading. Follow my brush for the best result. Finally, I'll use the eyedropper tool to pick a color directly from the image and apply it with the brush to blend everything smoothly. And just like that, the scene comes together beautifully with a polished cinematic finish. Now, let's take the lighting to the next level and really bring this scene to life. First, create a new layer. Increase the brush opacity and adjust the flow to a higher value. Then, using the eyedropper tool, pick a bright color directly from the image. Next, convert this layer into a clipping mask so it only affects the Ronaldo layer. Now, slightly reduce the brush opacity and flow to keep the effect soft and natural. Change the blending mode to linear dodge, add, and gently paint along the edge of Ronaldo like this. Follow my brush strokes carefully to get that glowing highlight effect. Wait till you see the final result. But before that, like the video and subscribe. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Once you're happy with it, reduce the layer opacity a bit to keep everything balanced. Now go to the Color Lookup mask, switch the foreground color to black, and gently remove the extra darkness from the brighter edge areas of the subject. This helps maintain a clean lighting transition. Just follow along with my brush process. Next, select the mask of the Ronaldo layer and softly erase the lower area, like this. It already looks much more natural. To enhance the lighting even further, I'll use the same technique again to add more highlights where needed. Now, grab the eraser tool and make sure the layer is visible using the eye icon. Press Ctrl+U to open Hue/Saturation and reduce the saturation by dragging the slider to the left. Then, using the eraser, remove any unwanted gray areas, keeping only the parts that enhance the lighting effect. After that, duplicate this layer. Go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and set the value to around 9.6 pixels. Then, change the blending mode to Color Dodge. This will create a soft glow and add a cinematic lighting boost. Select the stadium layer and create a new layer above it. Make it a clipping mask. Using the eyedropper tool, pick a dark gray color from the image, and gently paint over the right side to add shadows and depth. Repeat the same process for the grass field. Select the field layer, create a new clipped layer, and apply soft brush strokes to deepen the shadows and enhance the realism. Finally, use the eraser tool to remove any excess darkness from areas that feel too heavy. This step is important to maintain balance. Just follow my adjustments closely. And there you go. Your scene now has beautiful lighting, depth, and a professional cinematic finish. All right, now let's add some final color and atmosphere to really enhance the cinematic feel. First, create a new layer. I'll choose a bright blue color and gently paint over the area, just like this. Then, change the blending mode to Overlay and reduce the opacity to keep the effect subtle and well-balanced. Next, create another new layer. Again, pick a bright blue tone and softly apply the brush in similar areas. This time, change the blending mode to Screen and lower the opacity slightly. You can already see how this adds a nice glow. Looks really good. Now, let's bring in some atmosphere. I'll add a fog image and change its blending mode to Screen. Then, I'll position it properly and transform its size to fit the scene. To blend it better, press Ctrl+L to open levels and adjust the values until it matches the background lighting. After that, add a mask to this layer and gently erase the unwanted fog from certain areas, like this. I'll tweak the levels again a bit to get an even better result. Next, I'll move this fog layer behind the Ronaldo layer, increase its size slightly, and position it to enhance depth. Then, I'll clean up some extra fog using the eraser tool. To build more depth, I'll duplicate the fog layer and place it in another area. Again, I'll erase the unnecessary parts so it blends naturally into the scene. Now, to keep everything organized, I'll select these fog layers, group them, and name the group 07. I'll also group the related layers for the field and name it Field, and do the same for the stadium layers, naming that group Stadium. Finally, I'll create a new layer above the field group. I'll pick a dark blue color, reduce the brush opacity and flow, and gently paint over the area to add depth and shadow. Just follow my brush strokes here to achieve the same effect. And just like that, the scene feels richer, more atmospheric, and truly cinematic. Alright, now let's fine-tune the lighting on Ronaldo and make him stand out even more. First, select the Ronaldo image layer, then go to the adjustment layer panel and choose brightness contrast. Slightly reduce the brightness and increase the contrast just like this. As you can see, it already adds a nice punch to the image. Change the foreground color and lower the brush opacity and flow for a softer effect. Using the brush tool, gently remove the brightness from the overly bright areas on Ronaldo, like this. This helps keep the lighting balanced and natural. Next, go back to the adjustment layer panel and this time choose curves. Don't forget to create a clipping mask so it only affects Ronaldo. Now, adjust the curve slightly to add depth and contrast. This step really enhances realism. After that, invert the mask using Ctrl+I, change the foreground color to white, and now softly paint over Ronaldo to reveal the effect only where you want it. Follow my brush strokes carefully to achieve that controlled lighting. Now comes the fun part, adding motion. To create a motion effect, duplicate the Ronaldo layer, then go to Filter, Blur Gallery, Path Blur. Adjust the speed and direction by moving the arrow toward the right side, like this. You can also fine-tune the taper and endpoint speed values to get a smooth, dynamic motion effect. This is just episode 1. Subscribe now, because the next one is even crazier. Once you're happy with it, click OK. You can toggle the layer visibility on and off to see the difference. Then, change its blending mode to overlay for a more natural blend. Next, duplicate this motion layer again, create a new layer above it, and using the eyedropper tool, pick a bright red color from Ronaldo's jersey, increase the brush size, and gently paint over the motion areas to enhance the glow. Finally, change the blending mode of this layer to overlay and reduce the opacity slightly. And just like that, you've added a powerful motion and lighting effect that really brings the scene to life. Looks amazing, right? Alright, now let's add some final effects to really bring this composition to life. I'll add a fire dust image into the project. I'll transform and resize it, then place it here like this. After that, I'll change the blending mode to screen, so it blends naturally with the background. Next, press Ctrl+L to open levels, and adjust the values to match the lighting of the scene. I'll also slightly increase the size and rotate it in an anti-clockwise direction, to make it more dynamic. Now, I'll add a mask to this layer. Changing the foreground color to black and reducing the brush size, I'll gently erase parts of the fire dust. Go to the adjustment layer panel and create a solid color layer. I'll choose a dark black tone and reduce the opacity slightly. Select the mask of this layer. Increase the brush opacity. And softly erase the darkness from the center area. This creates a natural vignette effect. I'll also darken the corners a bit more to guide the viewer's focus. Just follow my brush strokes here. Now, I'll select the fire dust layer, rasterize it, and use the eraser tool to clean up unwanted areas. Then, I'll duplicate this layer, transform it, rotate it, and place it in another position to add more depth. After that, go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and set the radius to around 2.7 pixels. This softens the effect nicely. I'll erase any extra unwanted particles and reduce the opacity of both fire dust layers for a more natural look. Next, I'll create a new layer above and reduce the brush opacity and flow. Using a bright blue color, I'll gently paint some light effects and set the blending mode to screen. Then, I'll create another new layer. Using the eyedropper tool, I'll pick a red color from the image, change the blending mode to screen, then use the eraser tool to remove the effect from unwanted areas, especially over Ronaldo. Finally, reduce the opacity for a subtle finish. Now, let's enhance Ronaldo even more. Go to the blending options of the Ronaldo layer and enable inner shadow. Pick a red tone from the jersey using the color picker and adjust the angle and settings to match the lighting. Then, right-click on the Ronaldo layer and select Create Layer to separate the blending effect. Next, press Ctrl+Alt+Shift+E to create a merged copy of all visible layers. Change its blending mode to Vivid Light. Go to Filter Other High Pass and set the value to around 0.8. This sharpens the image subtly. Now, add a Levels Adjustment layer. This time, we'll enhance colors. Start by adjusting the red channel. Then repeat the same process for the blue channel to create a richer tone. Finally, add a Curves Adjustment layer and make slight adjustments to add overall depth and contrast to the entire image. And just like that, your epic Ronaldo poster is complete. If this tutorial inspired you or helped you create something amazing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Swastik Creations Lab. It truly means a lot and keeps me motivated to bring you even better content every week. Comment below, Ronaldo, if you watched till the end, or tell me what you'd like to learn next. I read every single comment. Thank you so much for watching. Your support really means everything. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, Keep creating and stay inspired.